In this episode, we talk about the government lifting the ban on the export of onions and why farmers aren't particularly happy about it. We also talk about the Enforcement Directorate's latest raids in Jharkhand. But first, we bring you a ground report from the Hassan constituency in Karnataka that is at the center of the sex abuse case involving JDS leader and MP Prajwal Revanna and his father HD Revanna. Hi, I'm Shashank Bhargava and you're listening to Three Things, the Indian Express news show. For over a month now, video clips have been circulating on social media depicting multiple women who were allegedly sexually assaulted by JDS MP Prajwal Revanna, who is seeking re-election at the moment. These clips, initially circulated via pen drives, have now forced these women to leave their homes in Karnataka's Hassan district over the last 10 days. Hassan is the bastion of JDS chief and former Prime Minister HD Devegowda, who is the grandfather of Prajwal Revanna and father of HD Revanna, who is also accused in the case. Recently, Indian Express's Kiran Parashar travelled across the district and spoke to the people in the region. He now joins us to talk about what he found out. Kiran, firstly, for those who might not be familiar with it, could you talk a bit about Hassan itself? How would you describe the place?
So Hassan town comes in the southern part of Karnataka state, which is usually known for its historical temples of Hoysala Empire. Belur, Halebid, all these are significant places historically, which fall under Hassan district. And Hassan in recent days was in news for two reasons. One is that it also houses Shravana which houses a longest monolithic statue of Lord Gomateshwara, where Abhishek happens once in 12 years. It's a global event. Besides that, whenever there was a hung assembly in Karnataka, even people, politicians and ministers sitting in Bangalore used to turn towards Hassan because HD Devegowda used to sit there. So that was kind of a political capital of HD Devegowda. It's a stronghold. So everybody used to turn towards Hassan whenever there was a hung assembly to seek support, to form a new government, all these things. But this time Hassan is in news for wrong reasons.
Right, it finds itself in the middle of this sex abuse case involving over 2,000 videos that have been doing the rounds on social media. Now, you traveled to the region, you visited 3 towns and a number of villages. How much is this case being talked about there?
So the sexual abuse allegations and these videos have started circulating everywhere. These people may not be known for the people who are sitting in Bangalore or elsewhere, but in Hassan district, everybody know these victims. So everybody has some kind of anecdotes or some kind of stories to tell about the victims. I was outside Revanna's residence in Holenarsipura, where the SIT team was conducting a Mahajar and also a raid on his house. Then I saw a couple of people speaking about one of the victims who was featured in the video, saying that she was a relative of this person, she attended this event, she came to this program. So there were a lot of people who were identifying the victim, and also in that place people don't speak up about these issues. One is that it's a patriarchal society that we live in, that we have to accept, the first point. And second is Hassan district is considered to be controlled by Devegowda's family. So if you go to a shopkeeper and just ask about videos that are being circulated, what's his opinion about this, he won't comment or he won't give out any kind of insight or anything, because they fear that somehow this will reach to HD Revanna's house. That is the kind of control the family has in Hassan district from 40 years.
And Kiran, so considering the fact that these videos have been widely circulated, talk about what this has meant for the women who feature in them and who can be easily identified.
So another thing, Shashank, you need to know is that after this video started circulating, many of the women have left towns, and many of the women, the neighbor would identify, their relative would identify, their husbands would question. So many of the women have left, and they have left the district itself. And in some of the cases, so when I spoke to a JDS leader, he said that they have noticed even women deleting some of the photos which were taken with the MP Prajwal Revanna in some public event or public programs, the photos that they had taken with the MP. So they are even deleting those photos from the social media account because they are being questioned. So what's your association with the MP? How far is that association?
And these are women from the party that are doing this?
These are women from the party, or even some of the people who would take photo with their MP. Anybody would do that, right? So there is a kind of anger among the public. There is a silence which speaks a lot, and there is a sense of embarrassment for the people that this district is being depicted in such a bad light because of one person's crime. At the same time, when I spoke to a lot of people, they have huge sympathy towards 91-year-old former Prime Minister HD Devegowda, because HD Devegowda has spent more than 6 decades in politics, and the kind of legacy that he built and the works that he has done for Hassan or to the state. And now, just because of his alleged deeds of his grandson, he has to face such a situation.
And Kiran, we understand that right now 3 cases have been filed in the matter. One in which a woman has alleged that she was sexually abused by both HD Revanna and his son Prajwal Revanna, the MP from the Hassan constituency. In another FIR, a former Zilla Panchayat member has alleged that she was raped by Prajwal. And in the third FIR, one of the women who feature in these videos, her son has filed a case of kidnapping. Tell us about that case.
So, in the third FIR that was registered at KR police station, a son of a 47-year-old woman had alleged that HD Revanna and his relative Satish Babana or Satish Babu had allegedly kidnapped his mother. His mother used to work at one of the houses of HD Revanna as a housemaid. So, the allegation is that this woman who is in question, she was featured in one of the explicit videos, and suspecting that could be the reason for her kidnap. So a case was filed at Keranagar police station by her 20-year-old son. So former minister and JDS MLA HD Revanna has been arrested in that specific kidnap case now, and he is in a special investigation team custody till May 8th.
And also you spoke to one of the relatives of this woman. Talk about what he told you about what the family has been going through.
So I spoke to the son-in-law of that woman, who said that he was totally unaware of all these things till they got this video on their mobile phone. It is very unfortunate that this 47-year-old woman who used to work at HD Revanna's residence is also mother of 3 children. 2 of them are daughters and one is a 20-year-old son. And one daughter has delivered a baby 20 days ago. So she stayed in the village as usual, and she was taken to a different place from Satish Babana for some reasons. But when her son received the video of his mother, that was a real shock for him. So the family is still yet to get out of the trauma, and they don't know what to do, because what they say is, we can't go back to the same village and we can leave, because everybody now knows that my mother-in-law is the victim, and also a KSRP vehicle, that is a reserve force vehicle, is stationed right in front of their house in the village. So it's very traumatic for the family.
And you also spoke to the local JDS leaders. What are the kind of things they told you, and how have they been reacting to this internally?
So basically, when I spoke to the JDS leaders and some of the key persons, and also to the police, the district intelligence police, basically my questions were revolving around whether they were aware of this issue or not. So what I got to know was that some of the people were aware of this issue, but they did not know the magnitude. It was only after this video started circulating, people understood the magnitude of it, that it was really beyond 2000 videos that were being shot and it was being circulated. So till then, though they knew that there is a alleged sex video of Prajwal Revanna, nobody knew that it would be of this magnitude. That is another thing. And to also bring couple of references is that BJP and JDS have an alliance in Karnataka. While distributing the ticket, Union Home Minister Amit Shah had raised an issue saying that there is some problem in Hassan. So he had suggested JDS to replace Prajwal Revanna with Devegowda or any other candidate.
And Kiran, when exactly did this happen? When did Amit Shah raise this issue?
This was after the formation of alliance and before announcing the tickets to the candidates. This was this year, somewhere in February, March. So Deve Gowda then confirmed saying that no, he will ensure a victory from Hassan Lok Sabha and let Prajwal Revanna contest. This information was confirmed by former Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy, who is also from the same family. And another public reference that people speak about this is when you go to Hassan, they say that during election campaigns or speeches, Prajwal Revanna always referred something that if I have done any mistake in all these years, you please treat me as your family member and please forgive me, but please ensure my victory. So people thought that he said that out of humility. But now people say, okay, was he referring to this mistake? Is now what people are talking about.
Yeah, in fact, you write that one of these videos was doing rounds even before the Karnataka Assembly elections last year. And even though there were murmurs about it, even the state intelligence team thought it was an exaggeration. But Kiran, talking about the case, tell our listeners where the matter stands as of now.
So, as we speak, Shashank, 3 FIRs have been registered. In kidnap case, H.D. Revanna has been arrested. H.D. Revanna is in SIT custody till May 8th. Prajwal Revanna, a day after the elections, that is on 27th of April, left India. He went to Germany. After that, it is said that he has gone to Dubai, and the police are looking out for the whereabouts of Prajwal Revanna, who is the key accused in this case. And also the police are conducting spot mergers from the people whoever have filed complaints. So on 6th of May, one of the victims was taken to a house belonging to H.D. Revanna in Bangalore for spot merger. And meanwhile, the state government and the state police is also having a communication with CBI and Interpol to issue a blue corner notice against Prajwal Revanna to ensure that he would return back to India.
And next we talk about Maharashtra. Days ahead of polling in the regions like Aurangabad, Nashik, Pune and Solapur, all part of the state's onion belt, the centre over the weekend lifted the ban on the export of the vegetable with immediate effect. The ban, which was put in place last year, had triggered protests by the onion farmers in the state who said that it significantly impacted their incomes. But now what's crucial to note is that this lifting of ban has come with certain conditions. A notification issued by the Directorate General of Foreign Trade on Saturday stated that the export policy of onions is amended from prohibited to free with immediate effect until further orders. However, it clarified that shipments are subject to a minimum export price of $550 per ton. It said that not only will exports below this price not be allowed, they will also attract a 40% duty that the Finance Ministry imposed on the 3rd of May. To understand the significance of this move and how farmers are reacting to it, my colleague Niharika Nanda speaks to Indian Express's Parthasarthi Biswas.
Partha, before we talk about the current notification, can you tell us why the government imposed a ban on the export of onions in the very first place?
The ban was imposed last year in view of number one, the lower than expected yields of both the Kharif, late Kharif and subsequently the Rabi crop. And secondly, India was to go for general elections early in 2024. That's the general elections that is going on now. If the ban was not imposed, the thinking at the higher echelons of the government was that onion prices would have gone out of hand. And that would have had a political repercussion in the elections. Onion, we must understand, is both a staple as well as a political crop. Onion prices has seen quite a few governments losing their grip on power, and onion belt and the onion crisis has seen political upheavals. So the government, while it was preparing for the upcoming general elections, the ban was put in place. So in order to ensure that the produce of the nation stays within the nation and there is enough to cool down the domestic prices. The ban was put in place when domestic prices, that's the retail price of onion, was hovering around 35 to 40 rupees a kg. At present, it's somewhere around 25 to 30 rupees a kg. The retail price, that is.
And what would you say is the significance of the timing when it comes to lifting the ban? And what do we understand is the reason that the government did it?
The only significance of about the lifting is that it comes before the onion belt of Maharashtra goes for polling. Maharashtra is voting for the 2024 general elections in 5 phases. We finished the 3rd phase, and the next 2 phases would have onion belt districts like Ahmednagar, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar or Aurangabad, Nashik, and some portions of Pune voting. So the anger against the ban of exports was highest, so to speak, in this onion belt. And the government, before this belt went for voting, decided to partially lift the ban on exports. So the only significance is that it comes before the onion belt of Maharashtra goes to vote.
And Partha, we understand that lifting of the ban does come with certain conditions. Talk about what they are.
Yes, the ban has been lifted, but with many ifs and buts. There are many conditions to that. To start with, there is a 40% export duty, and also there is an MEP, minimum export price, of around $550 a ton. This implies that you cannot export a consignment out of the country which costs you lesser than $550. And the 40% export duty is also quite steep. The FOB of both of these come out to be around 64 to 65 rupees a kg for the exporter. So we have not seen a very steep rise in the wholesale prices. Prices have risen by say around 4 to 5 rupees a kg, and not much of onion would be exported because of these two stringent conditions. Yes, farmers would get some kind of better prices, but we have to realize this is coming at the back of bad monsoons in which there has been a decrease in per acre yield of onion, and also there has been quality issues. Because of this excessive heat, the onion cannot be stored for a longer period of time, and so offloading is pretty robust at this moment. So for the farmers it's better than nothing, but if these conditions were not there, the returns would have been much better.
And we know that when the ban had been put in place, it had angered a lot of farmers and cultivators in Maharashtra. How have they reacted to the latest move?
The cultivators are anything but happy, when most of them would have wanted the ban to be lifted earlier, 1, and 2, they would have wanted the ban to be lifted in toto. That is, they didn't want any of the pre-imposed conditions on them. So the cultivators are in 2 minds. They have bettered a bit, but it is not to the level in which they would have wanted. So the cultivators have given not a very lukewarm welcome to this. In fact, they are pretty indifferent to it. And the farm committees that I spoke to, one of them is Shetkari Sangatna. That's the farm union which was formed by Sharad Joshi, the late farmer leader. So he mentioned that the lifting of the ban with condition is adding insult to the injury. On paper, the ban has been lifted, but not much onion would leave the country. Secondly, another onion association, that's the Onion Growers Association, has also criticized the ban, saying that the conditions have ensured that the farmers would not make money. And we must realize that they have been losing a lot of money on onions, which normally doesn't happen. And given the fact that we have seen a very bad monsoon, the monsoon has been anything but good in the onion belt of Maharashtra, the farmers have talked about a lower than normal yield, per acre yield. Yet they have not been able to get good prices. So the law of supply and demand is not working at this moment in onion, and the lifting of the ban might not make any difference to them. So both the farmer unions have criticized this lifting because of the condition imposed on them.
And Partha, when talking about the prices, what kind of a difference do we see between the export price and the regular market price of onions? And what kind of a difference does that make to the cultivators?
Obviously, if you are procuring from the cultivators and export quality produce, you have to pay a better price. So for example, I am talking about the wholesale scenario. If a trader in the wholesale market procures onion for the domestic market, quality would be of secondary importance. We might want to delve in the quality parameters of onions. To be precise, the export quality onions are graded as A, and while the ones which are not for export for domestic production are graded as B. In Marathi, we call it Halka and Bhari. Bhari are the ones which goes for export, and the Halka is the one which stays for domestic production, which goes for onion and the spices industry and everything. Now, if you are buying an export quality good from the farmer, you have to pay the farmer a premium. And if the ban was not there, then farmers would have seen better realization, because the export quality produce would have been purchased at a premium from the traders, by the traders from them.
Right. And what are the kind of things that we are hearing from the BJP regarding this move? Have the local leaders said anything?
Well, the BJP MPs who are seeking re-election from the onion belt, they have obviously welcomed the lifting of the ban, and they said that farmers' incomes will be better. But Secretary of Food and Civil Supplies said that this is going to benefit the farmers, and also she has said the government is going to procure 5 lakh tons of onion from the farmers to make a buffer stock. So this has been both the official as well as the BJP's stance on this.
And Partha, based on what we know, to what extent do we see onion prices fluctuating in the near future?
As I told you earlier, that there has been a slight increase in wholesale prices of onion, and I feel that these prices would continue because not much of export would happen, number one, but there would be some export because if the prices are good, then some of the exporters might try their luck in the export markets. I do not see a steep rise in the onion prices in the retail market, nor do I see windfall gains for farmers in the days to come.
And in the end, we talk about Jharkhand. On Monday, the Enforcement Directorate arrested Jharkhand Congress Minister Alamgir Alam's personal secretary Sanjeev Lal and the officer's domestic help after conducting raids at various premises in the state. These raids, the agency said, led to the seizure of around 34.5 crore rupees in cash. Happening during the middle of the Lok Sabha polls, these raids have led to political mudslinging between the Congress and the BJP. When we spoke to Indian Express's Abhishek Angad, he told us the case actually relates to the former Water Resources Department engineer Virendra Kumar Ram.
So the case basically dates back to 2020, where one of the engineers, whose name is Virendra Ram, ED started investigating his assets and found out a lot of malpractices and evidence of corruption. So Virendra Kumar Ram worked as an engineer with the Water Resource Department of the government of Jharkhand. And the time when he was arrested, he was on deputation as chief engineer to Rural Works Department and Rural Development Department. So the allegation was that Virendra Ram used to collect commission in terms of allocation of tenders and execution of work, and that there was a fixed commission of 1.5% which was distributed to bureaucrats and politicians.
He says that it was the money trail in this case that led ED to the house help of Sanjeev Lal, who, like mentioned earlier, is the personal secretary of Congress Minister Alamgir Alam.
So this case is linked to the commission, tenders, and the corruption emanating from the case of Virendra Ram, who worked as an engineer and was on deputation to Rural Works Department and Rural Development Department.
Now, the name of the house help is Jhangir Alam, and it was in his apartment in Ranchi that the ED found a little over 32 crore rupees in cash.
And in addition to that, rupees 2.93 crores was also found from the premises of another associate of Jahangir Alam. And as of now, what we know is Jahangir Alam is the house help of the personal secretary whose name is Sanjeev Lal. Now, Sanjeev Lal is a government officer. He is a Jharkhand Administrative Service officer who is attached to ministers and previously had worked with current BJP MLA and former minister CP Singh as well.
In its allegations, the ED has said that both Sanjeev Lal and Jahangir Alam were working together in a nexus and has detailed their involvement in the matter.
They have sort of deliberated and described how Sanjeev Lal used to take care of a collection of commission on behalf of the word that the ED is using, some influential persons. And Sanjeev Lal also used to take care of the tenders and commission from engineers, and how those commissions were distributed in a very mechanized manner to the higher-ups in the government. EDF said that they're also investigating the role of several senior bureaucrats and politicians which have emerged during their investigation. And there's a very particular line in the remand copy which they have mentioned, which is several officials from, I quote, several officials from top to bottom of Rural Development Department are involved in this nexus. And the huge payments were received in cash, which was later laundered. So this sentence about several officials from top to bottom of Rural Development Department has sort of given a lot of thrust to the fact that the Rural Development Department is entirely corrupt, and they want to investigate a lot of the allegations and the money trail that they have found.
Meanwhile, the Congress party, reacting to the development, said that the raids have nothing to do with their minister, Alamgir Alam.
And they basically appeal to the public and to the media as well that this is basically done a day's arrival of Rahul Gandhi to Jharkhand. Rahul Gandhi was in Jharkhand on May 7 at 2 places for campaigns. And also they said that since he's a government officer, it's not that Alam is somehow involved in it. And the government officer is attached to several other ministers as well. So basically the Congress as of now has passed all the buck to the PS and his house help as of now.
Now, yesterday, while speaking at an election rally in Odisha, PM Modi referred to the raids and told people that a mountain of cash has been discovered in Jharkhand. He also added that, quote, Modi is recovering the stolen money there. When I try to stop this loot, I get abuses from some people. But tell me, should Modi not continue saving your money like this?
अभी घर जाओगे तो टीवी पे देखना, आज यहाँ पड़ोस में झारखंड में नोटों के पहाड़ मिल रहे हैं, नोटों के पहाड़। लोगों का चोरी किया माल पकड़ रहा है मोदी वहां। अब मुझे बताइए, मैं चोरी बंद कर दूं, इनकी कमाई बंद कर दूं, इनकी लूट बंद कर दूं, तो मोदी को गाली देंगे कि नहीं देंगे? देंगे कि नहीं देंगे? लेकिन गाली खा करके मुझे काम करना चाहिए नहीं करना चाहिए? आप मुझे बताइए। मुझे आपकी पाई पाई बचानी चाहिए कि नहीं बचानी चाहिए? आपके हक का पैसा।
BJP government has been going on a war footing mode on this issue because, of course, this is during the poll time. So BJP has been going to the public through social media channels or in campaigns saying that, look, this is a corruption money which has been found with the Congress, and obviously this may help them in elections. So BJP has been trying to encash the entire issue to benefit them in the upcoming elections, which will be held in Jharkhand from May 13 to June 1.
You were listening to 3 Things by the Indian Express. Today's show was edited and mixed by Suresh Pawar and was produced by Niharika Nanda and me, Shashank Bhargava. If you like the show, then do subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also recommend the show to someone you think will like it, share it with a friend or someone in your family. It's the best way to get to know about us. You can also tweet us at Express Audio and write to us at podcast@indianexpress.com.